After closing out a successful first season, the WNBA is considering several changes to improve the level of play in the league next year. Among the proposals, extending the playoffs, increasing salaries, bringing back the three-point line, and replacing all the female players with guys. Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. Yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So I was a little late here tonight. I took the cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. This seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're going to... say the whole city's going to go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know what impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah. Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Oh, my goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know, it's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice. Roast, huh? Yeah, you gotta laugh just to escape. Do you know that 11 million children died last year from preventable diseases? What the f*** are you smiling about?
We're back. I'm here with Norm Macdonald. Now, Norm, you know, you're doing Weekend Update again this year. You got to do a lot of stuff about the news. That's all you got to do is the news.
That's it.
What are we going to be hearing this year?
Well,
anything?
I'm looking forward to the Olympics coming up. You know, that's because I love sports. You know, I watch every sport, so the Olympics is my favorite thing. And I don't watch them. Like sometimes in the Olympics they have like lame sports, you know, where they're not real sports. You know, like a lot of times what they'll do is they'll try to combine two sports together. You know, make up a new sport.
Right.
You know? They're fine sports together, but when they mix them up, they make a god-awful mess, you know? And like I saw this one, I remember, it was a guy, he like run a 100-yard dash and then fish. You know the guys? You know,
fish, yeah.
Yeah, he's fishing in a creek.
That's not a good one. You don't like that.
No, and you know, all the sports, and you know, they got the great sports, and then the bizarre. Like, you ever see that one where they like walk fast? It's the fast walking. It's just a guy walking fast. It's not like a sport. And you know, like that you know, this guy doesn't get a lot of respect around the Olympic Village, you know, from like the sprinters and stuff, you know. Going, hey Fred, good stroll today there, man. That was a briskest stroll. What do you smashed the 20-minute mile? I heard. They said it could never be done. But you know what's weird is that guy gets a gold medal, and meanwhile, like the decathlon champ, he gets a gold medal. You know, that's not fair. Like they shouldn't get the same thing. You get the gold medal, you're the world's greatest athlete, you do 10, and then the other guy walks fast? It's like crazy.
They should have another medal.
Yeah, they should have.
Not right.
He should get like they should give that guy like a stick or something. You get a stick, you know?
A nice stick, but a stick.
Yeah, a nice stick. That's for you, buddy. And then you can do all your great endorsement deals there afterwards.
All right, well...
Is this a really good question, Norm? Here's a familiar face for you,
it's
Blake.
a question from Blake's good friend, Norm. No, Blake, it's fun watching you this year. Wasn't it cool?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I was wondering, like, there's a kind of a curse with Rookie of the Year. Nobody's ever repeated it.
I didn't think about that. Well, I'll try as hard as I can next year, but
All right, man.
I don't know. Thank you for that question, though. That's going on top of the goals for next year.
We just saw this footage of you doing these amazing tricks, and I can't imagine doing anything like that. But are there any tricks that you're known for in particular? I know that you know, different athletes maybe have different moves. Is there one that's kind of yours?
There is. Funny you should mention. It's called the Crippler.
The Crippler.
The Crippler.
Okay, did you come up with that name?
No. Definitely not. My mom, every time I say it, she's like, can't we come up with something more sweet and feminine?
Right.
The Crippler's it's a little scary.
What does the Crippler involve? Describe this move to us.
Okay, so in the half pipe, you have a front side wall and a back side wall. And the Crippler is done on the front side wall. And you're spinning, well, regular Crippler 540 is 1.5 rotations, and you're also doing a backflip at the same time. So spinning, flipping, that's Crippler.
Wow. Okay, have you been really badly hurt doing this one or no?
Well, it took me a long time to figure out how to do this trick.
Right.
Multiple black eyes, landing on my butt a lot. It took a little while.
Okay.
Being crippled?
No. I didn't. No.
I should have warned you about him.
I know.
He's going to be here the whole time.
Kelly. I love Kelly.
Gretchen.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Gretchen.
Yeah.
No, you want me to say why I said Kelly? Because I was just on the phone with a girl named Kelly. But I'm telling you about this girl named Kelly. She couldn't do no
Crippler.
no 1440.
Yeah.
You ever do a 1440?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever done?
900.
900 is
That's
huge.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 900 is what?
Andy, I may ask you to take Norm for a walk.
Oh, okay.
Just around the parking lot. Now, Norm, in his own way, brings up a good point.
Right.
Which is there's crazy terms
That's
you
true.
use in this snowboarding,
Yeah.
right? They don't just say it's the Crippler is one of them, but give us some examples of some of the terms people use.
Yeah, so there's, everyone loves to talk about this because the snowboarding lingo is just a little out there. But we have, like, in snowboarding, style is really important, and where you grab your board, it's really important. And so there's some crazy names for grabs, like the chicken salad grab, the roast beef, Japan air, stale fish, slob air.
Do they mean, I mean, is there a reason for those names, or are they just randomly, you're just throwing stuff out like the flosser and you know, the onion stew? I mean, you're just throwing stuff out there that has no relation to anything.
You should come up with a
Jub
snowboard
pie
grab.
and gob gob.
Yeah, maybe if you want to come up with like where to grab it and then call it something, and I'll bring it out.
Oh, what about
contest.
like?
Now, here we go. Here we
Well,
go.
no, she asked, but I like that crippler.
Yeah.
What about the long-suffering death?
Oh. That's a different one. That's different.
She didn't ask, technically.
Yeah, I did. I don't think that.
You're headed into your second Olympics.
I am.
You excited? You
I
must
am.
be.
A quick
Oh,
question.
good
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm sorry.
When I pick up
But
the blue
why
co-
is it
Yes.
that in some sports, like beach volleyball or snowboarding, the women are breathtakingly beautiful, and you would think they would be big, big. You'd think they'd be big monsters of ladies.
Why would you think that, though?
Well, like softball.
We can't be
First of all, I know you're a big sports fanatic.
Oh, I love sports.
You're also a guy that keeps up on the news, and there's big news out there in the sporting world.
The big news is Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah, huge news.
And I don't like him, don't care for him, never did.
Really? You don't like Oscar Pistorius even before he... What are you doing?
I had something in my tooth.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't like him.
You're saying, I mean, a lot of people don't like him now that he
A lot of
murdered
people-
somebody, but,
Yeah.
but before that...
Allegedly. But also, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have problems with the murder.
Right.
But what I never liked him racing with them things that looked like something Wile E. Coyote would order. And
What?
Well, they
you
were.
had a problem with him racing with his blades. His blades. He was the Blade Runner.
Yes, he
Those
was.
Teflon blades.
I did have a big problem with it because, I'll put it this way. Let's imagine you're a runner, with legs.
Yeah.
And then you go home, you go, oh, I lost, honey. Who'd you lose to? Guy with no legs.
Wait, you're saying that you didn't like that Oscar Pistorius raced against people with legs?
No, I don't. I feel that one of the basic requirements of being a sprinter is having legs. I feel that they should say, okay, listen, let's, here's the, hey, what about you? I don't think you can be on the team. Why not? Well, you're not a biped. You have no legs, so scram.
Okay.
You take your time as long as you want. But get the hell out of here.
No one's going with you on this. Nobody is with you on this at all.
Except the feller at home that's like, that son of a bitch I lost my race to that got no legs.
Are you saying he had an unfair advantage because he had these?
Well, of course, he had rocket ships.
They're not rocket ships.
Okay.
Andy, help me out here.
No, it's still him running.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, guys, I agree with you then. Oscar Pistorius is a scholar and a gentleman.
All right.
He's a murderer.
He turned it around on us.
Alleged murderer.
And that's the part you like.
Yeah, you said I'm okay with that part.
No, I'll tell you something, though, Conan.
Yeah.
WNBA officials expanded to 10 teams this week, adding franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C. But before you get too excited about the new additions to the league, remember, all of the players are still women. They stink at basketball, that's the problem. Other than that, it'd be a good, good game, but they're all horrible, so it makes for a kind of a boring game.
Continuing with this Saturday Night Live theme, our next speaker is currently in his 4th season on that show. He doesn't do an impression of the president, but he does a great impression of Bob Dole, Andy Rooney, and Charles Kuralt. Recently, he ranked number 2 on Rolling Stone's list of the 101 best things about watching television. And once a week, he gets a taste of our jobs when he anchors that program's Weekend Update. Please join me in welcoming Norm Macdonald.
All right. I won't be as funny as that last bit. Just so you know. Well, good evening, Mr. President, Mrs. First Lady, and the distinguished members of the Radio and Television Correspondents' Dinner. When I accepted the honor of performing here tonight, one thought crossed my mind, and that was, please, God, don't let me bomb in front of the president.
I'm not worried. What the hell do I care? You know, I worked on all my jokes. I got a lot of help from my joke writer, Don Imus. He was helped me a lot. Are you familiar? You know this guy? He's a funny guy. He wrote some jokes. Anyways, the dinner was great. You enjoy the dinner? We had some salmon. Yeah, it was delicious. It was great, and I thought it was refreshing to see Democrats serve something other than subpoenas for a change. I thought that was nice, you know? I'll be doing some jokes later. I just thought I'd... But you know, it is rather daunting to me. You know, I'm just a guy, you know? What the hell am I? And here I am, you know, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, you know, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you know, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, you know, broadcast legend Larry King, you know, pornographer Larry Flint, you know, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting. And of course, it was very inspiring to see President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I mean, I thought that was just amazing, you know. I mean, it's been difficult for the president. You know, he can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, you know. On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, you know. You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better. It's... But it's odd. I mean, I think this is the first time that I can remember that we've had a president that is hobbled, you know, and it's tough on everybody. The Secret Service, it's not easy on the Secret Service. They have had to learn, you know, how to do this, and they've been specially trained on how to lift and carry President Clinton by top experts who've been doing this for a long time. Boris Yeltsin's Secret Service agents. They've stepped in to help, you know. Anyways, excuse me, I'm sorry, folks. Larry Flint and Dick Morris are giving some sort of hand signals to each other over there. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but it's kind of hard to concentrate. Larry Flint is here tonight. But also present this evening, Madeleine Albright, the Secretary of State. Ms. Albright's been very busy, you know. She just returned from Russia, where she, you know, applaud for her? Yeah, Madeleine Albright. She's been very busy. She just went to Russia, where she met with Boris Yeltsin, you know, and they had some talk on NATO expansion. I guess they kind of had a tense meeting, you know, and Ms. Albright came back out. She said, for this I traveled 5,000 miles to meet with some drunken Meshuggah? On my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish this. This is... She's changed, you know? That's what I find. She's... But of course, looking around the room, I also see many distinguished members of the Fourth Estate. I see Bryant Gumbel is here, and he just signed a multi-year contract, of course, with CBS. And, you know, he took some time off to be with his family after the Today Show, but Bryant in his heart, you know, is a newsman. And after a few weeks, he realized, you know, that he missed the excitement and thrill that you can only get by making millions and millions of dollars. So... And Dan Rather, of course, is here. He's a broadcast legend. I love Dan Rather. You know, I talked to him backstage, and it was a real thrill for me, you know. And he was so excited to be here, you know. I was backstage with him. I've never seen him so excited. At one moment, I remember he broke into a huge frozen smile. And it was... There it is again. There it is. Take a look. That's the huge frozen smile I'm talking about.
But we got a lot of power here, a lot of juice. Mr. Rule Arledge is here, of course, the chairman of ABC News, you know, and a lot of crazy stories coming out of that division, you know. You know, stories about this person sleeping with that person and all that, you know. Scandal after scandal. If you heard the latest, I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know. I don't know how these rumors get started, but you know, it's probably just a vicious rumor, really, you know. But as Mr. Arledge knows, of course, TV has become a very tough game. You got to stay competitive, you know. As we all know, ABC's Good Morning America is in a little turmoil, you know, a little trouble, a little rating trouble. And they're considering a lot of ways now, you know, to boost the ratings. And I don't know, I think they're getting a little desperate. I heard that next week Charles Gibson will announce he's a lesbian. I mean, is that going to help anything? Nobody wants to hear that. Martha Stewart is here, and she wanted me to tell you, don't let the busboys clear your table off tonight, because a little later Martha will come up here, and she's going to show us how to take those old discarded fish bones and make a beautiful birdhouse. So, that's nice. I'm very nervous. I don't know why. Before I sip this coffee, actually, sir, how much is it? How much would a cup of coffee cost in a place like this?
Nothing for you.
Nothing, it's free? Okay, great. I didn't want to get, you know, I didn't want to see $90,000 on my bill later. I'm sorry. And of course, there are some important Washington figures who couldn't be here tonight. Vice President Al Gore is not here. Unfortunately, he broke down and they had to leave him in the shop overnight. But they say he'll be all right later. Something wrong with the voice box or something. I don't know what it was. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is not here. A little while back, of course, everybody knows that Newt pushed through a lot of budget cuts in the arts, particularly in PBS, you know, and the effects are being felt now. I can see it, even as a layman, you know, just watching. You know, the other day I watched that show, the Frugal Gourmet. It changed its name to the Cheap Bastard. I mean, it's crazy. And Senator Ted Kennedy couldn't be here. You know, there's a lot of jokes about Ted Kennedy, but I recently watched an interview. It was very touching. You know, Ted was talking about, or Mr. Kennedy. What the hell am I calling him Ted for? Senator Kennedy was talking about how he proposed to his lovely wife Vicki Reggie, and it was very touching. You know, it was a different side of Ted Kennedy that you don't see. He was very old-fashioned or romantic. You know, when he made the proposal, it was very nice. He got up on one knee and he. It was nice, you know. You hear all the stories, but then you hear something like that, and, you know, it makes you. I'm starting to relax now, you know. I think I'm relaxing a little. And that's not just the booze talking. I think I really am relaxing. It's the Xanax, the Prozac, and the booze talking. But no, I'm a little nervous, you know. I mean, who the hell am I? But it's been great to be in Washington, I can tell you that, man. Oh, my God, I had a lovely stay here so far. I've been sightseeing, you know, and in fact, I stopped at a museum. This is probably interesting to you guys. They have this news museum now. Have you seen this? It's a museum that's dedicated to broadcast journalism, and they have all sorts of, you know, tributes to Edward R. Murrow and such, you know, and they have this one fascinating place. It's a kind of an interactive display, and visitors, what they can do is they can appear on camera and pretend that they are real journalists, you know. So far, it's been visited 20 times by Matt Lauer, but
I guess he's a legend too. I didn't know. You got Murrow, Severide, Edwards, and Lauer. All right. And also today I took a visit to the White House. For any of you who haven't taken a visit to the White House, unbelievable. So, awe-inspiring and, very lot of rich in history, so beautiful, Although I did notice a kind of an odd sign on the president's desk. It said, the yen stops here. Have you seen it? What the hell's that mean? The yen? I thought it was the buck stops here, I'd always heard. Of course, they say the White House is haunted. Did you know that? And I thought this was kind of sad. I heard last night that President Clinton charged Abraham Lincoln's ghost $10,000 to sleep in his own bed. So that doesn't seem right to me, I mean, no. But look, the president, has come under a lot of fire for raising money, but he's good at raising money. That's not a bad thing. Every president's done it. It's just that President Clinton is very, very, very good at it. Do you know he has organized in the past year over 100 fundraising dinners and over 200 fundraising midnight snacks? Did you know that? Is he laughing? Is he? No, but Mr. President, seriously, I know you've had to work through a lot of distractions in doing the business of running this country, and I just want to say, that I implore you, stay focused and do the job, and try to remember, that Rome was not built in a day, I mean, just ask Strom Thurmond, he'll tell you. It was not built in a day. He's an old fella, folks. How would you not know that? I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So. I have to say, though, this is an incredible thing for me. I'm just a punk, and yet here I am, I can't believe I'm speaking in a room. I'm standing in a room here with the most powerful man in the country, Alan Greenspan, and it's a little amazing to me. It's a little, Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, The newlyweds are going to spend their honeymoon in Mexico, and I thought this was sweet. As a gift to his new bride, Alan Greenspan just devalued the peso so that that'll be nice. So, anyways, a little bit more of my coffee. Anyways. It just occurred to me, Mr. President, you are now handicapped, and you're the President of the United States. You must have an unbelievable parking spot, That's got to be very close to the building, But, you got to hand it to the president. His injury is not holding him back from doing the business of the nation. In fact, he just nominated Major General Claudia Kennedy as the Army's first female 3-star general. And I think that's great. She's doing a great job. Apparently, the only thing she's having trouble with, she's having difficulty figuring out how to sexually harass herself. She doesn't know how to. What's that? Guy yells my name for no reason. Oh, I have another announcement to make. Is that what you're telling me? That I should make this announcement? You're right. You make a good point with your incoherent gibberish. Here it is. Here's my other announcement. The U.S. State Department, folks, has just issued a travel warning for all women moving past Dick Morris's table. So... I don't know. Well, that's about it for me. I just want to... How about this Heaven Gates call? This is what everybody's talking about. It's unbelievable. And it really is a sad story, and it's hard to comprehend. I mean, think about it. Who in their right mind would believe that you get into a spaceship behind a comet by castrating yourself and committing suicide? I mean, other than Pierre Salinger, who on earth would believe... I just saw him out in the lobby with a pair of sneakers, Nike sneakers, a big purple shroud, going, where are they? Did I miss it? Well, that's it for me, folks. I just want to say, you know, before I go, that it really has been a thrill for me. I joke around about the news, you know, but you people, you do the real thing, and you serve as our watchdogs, and you tell the real stories that come out of this city. And I, for one, you know, think you do a darn good job. And as a matter of fact, I have a message from someone who couldn't be here and wanted me to read it to you. This is from Senator Bob Dole. He wanted me to read this to you. Here it is. This is it. This is from Senator Bob Dole. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, to hell with all of you. You cost me the damn election. You can kiss my ass, every last one of you. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Thanks, good to be here, and I'm feeling good and everything. I had a rough day today, though. I bit my tongue. You ever do that? Yeah! And I got a big purpley thing on the side of my tongue there, and hurts like a bastard, you know. And it's embarrassing, you know. It's embarrassing biting your tongue there, you know, because you know you're walking down the street there, minding your own business, you know. You just, you know, doodly doo, doodly doo. Oh! Then you bit your tongue, you got this bit tongue going there, and everybody looking at you, and man, that's bad. People go, hey, what's the matter there? What happened to you? You go, ah. They go, what, you bite your tongue? No, it's my uncle died. But I was thinking about it today, actually. I'm surprised that I don't bite my tongue all the time, you know, because I got so many teeth, you know. I got like, I got 50, 100 teeth in my head, and they're all right around my tongue, you know. They're all right near the vicinity of my tongue, and they'll bite anything, my teeth. They don't care, you know. Could be a pork sandwich, could be my tongue. What do they care? They just bite. That's all they know. That's all they know. They're not trained for anything else. They just bite. I got too many teeth. That's the problem. I got like 50, 100 teeth, and I only need, I don't know, I never count them, but I like to deal with round numbers. But I got a lot of teeth, and I don't need hardly any of them, you know, because a lot of them are like, I got fangs here. You ever see these teeth going here? There are a couple of, you got big fangs sticking out, which you got no use for, you know, because that's from back in the old days. You needed them back then to like whatever, you know. You know what I mean? You had to go out in the morning and stalk a gazelle and rip his throat out with your teeth. But, you know, you don't have to do that anymore, do you? Thank God those days are over, huh, folks? Remember back then when you had to wake up, ah! Ah! I should just take a pair of pliers and pull out. Like, I figure I only need, like, maybe 6 teeth. I tested it out on a sandwich, you know? All I need, I eat a sandwich, and there's like 4, 5, 6 teeth marks, and that's it. There's no 50, 100 teeth marks. I lost the tooth back in the back of my head, and my dentist wanted to take it out. I said, just leave it, man. I don't need to grind cornmeal or anything like that. You know where you don't want to miss a tooth, though? You ever see a guy no tooth up here in the front? Oh, that looks bad. Oh, man. You look like the stupidest guy in the world. You got no tooth there. You could be the smartest guy in the world, but you got no tooth, and people just think that you're the stupidest guy, you know? You could be the smartest guy in the world, talking to all the other smart guys. Oh, listen now, other smart guys. Listen as I tell you. And people go, hey, you got no tooth there. What the hell are you talking about? Take a look in the mirror. Hey, yeah. But I take good care of my teeth, you know? You got to take care of your teeth. That's what I brush them. You ever do that? Sure you have. Everybody has. What am I asking that for? I got trying to floss. That's a tough thing to get into. Huh? That's a bastard, that flossing. Oh my God, you got a rope there in between your teeth. And then after you're finished, your mouth's a big gushing fountain of blood going there. You know, this feels good now. Yes. I feel a little faint, but I got that thing with I got that piece of pork from the pork sandwich. So that's good. I got that. So I don't floss. The hell with flossing, I say, you know. I do the next best thing. You know what I do? What I do is I tell my dentist that I floss. I just lie to the guy. What the hell do I care? I'm just a dentist, you know. They don't care. The dentists, they don't know any better, you know. He goes, hey, Norm, you've been flossing lately like I told you there. And I go, yeah, yes. And he goes, yeah, you have, because I can't help but notice all the plaque in between your teeth there. I can't help but find there's plaque all between your teeth. And I go, oh, yes. Well, that's dentist. That's because on my way over here to the dentist's office, on my way from the place where I was, I come over here, I stopped at I had a bowl of some plaque. I had a bowl of plaque. I had a big dish of plaque there. They had it down at the restaurant. They had half a pork sandwich and a bowl of plaque. It was their special. And then he goes, all right, fair enough. Where you go? Okay, well, I got no ending to that. But God bless you, folks.
All right, throw the pie.
Oh, this is such a lovely dinner party, Marge. I'm so sorry Billy couldn't make it. He's just so busy with his ventriloquism.
You must be so proud of him.
I am.
I know we're really proud of our Jimmy.
Well, there's no business like show business. Norm, what are you doing these days?
I'm a doctor.
My son, the doctor.
Kurt, don't.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm a surgeon, Dad. You've never been able to accept that.
Oh, where did I go wrong? I raised him to be a comedian, but no. For his 4th birthday, I gave him a rubber chicken. He tried to revive the goddamn thing.
I removed a man's spleen today.
What kind of job is that for a grown man? When I was your age, I was on the Jack Parr show, remember?
I just want to help people, Dad, to make them feel better.
You make them feel better, you make them laugh. Now, laughter's the best medicine, huh?
That's true.
No, Dad. Sometimes synthetic morphine through a slow drip is the best medicine.
That's all right, dear. It's just a phase he's going through.
No, I want to tell you.
Honey, I was talking to Millie today down at the HBO, and she said they have an opening for a comedian tonight. You'd have your own half-hour special and a comprehensive dental plan. It's such a good opportunity, dear.
But, Mom, I'm not a comic. I'm a healer.
Just this once, dear. Do it for your father's sake. He'd be so proud.
Then Nipsey says to me, I got news for you. That is not a bratwurst.
All right, I'll do the damn show. But I won't be happy. I'll be miserable.
Fair enough.
We better leave now. You're on stage in 15 minutes.
Oh.
From the Vic Theater in Chicago, HBO presents One Night Stand. Starring Norm Macdonald. Ladies and gentlemen, Norm Macdonald.
Thanks. Well, good to see you. Good crowd here. How are you doing tonight? You all right? Good stuff there. Well, I'm doing all right, too. Not much of a day for me. I bit my tongue today. That was about all. You ever do that? Man, that hurts, huh? Still hurts. And very embarrassing biting your tongue, you know. You just be walking down the street, minding your own business, you know. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-ho! And then everybody's looking at you and everything there, you know. And you're ashamed, you know. You feel ashamed that you bit your tongue. People go, hey, what's the matter with you there? You go, oh, my uncle's sick. Yeah, I didn't bite my tongue, if that's what you think. I'm surprised I don't bite my tongue all the time, actually, you know, because I got so many teeth, you know. I got 50, 100 teeth, something like that. And they're all right around my tongue there, you know. They don't get out much. But I quit smoking. That's good for your teeth, man. You ever try that? Holy cow, is that tough, huh? I smoked ever since I was a kid. I always remember smoking, you know. One time I remember I was a little kid. I was like 8 years old. And I was behind my garage. I was sneaking a cigarette back there. And my dad caught me. I'll never forget it. His big head came around the corner of the garage. There it was, my dad's big head. And then his body right after it. There was his body. Trailing his head as it often would. And he grabbed me. And he hauled me in. And I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know? What he did is he pulled out his giant cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this big cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy. That plan backfired on him. Then there was another time I remember, now that I'm thinking about it. I was behind the garage again, as luck would have it. And this time I was smoking a big fat joint back there. And don't do drugs. And my dad's big head showed up again. And there's no body this time, just a big head. That was the funny part. You like to mix it up like that, you know? So anyways, he grabbed me there with his teeth and he hauled me in. And I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know, but injected me with heroin. So he was a strict man, I'll tell you that. But you gotta quit smoking, that's all I know, man. You gotta quit smoking. It's not all I know other things too, but be a kind of a wasted life if that's all I combed out of it there. But you gotta quit smoking, because otherwise you get old and then unhealthy, you know? You see a lot of that, you know? Although some guys don't. You ever see those old guys? Doesn't matter what the hell they do to themselves. They just grow old anyway, you know? Meet a guy, be the oldest bastard you ever met, you know? Just does everything wrong, you know? Every day, I smoke 4 packs of cigarettes. I drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I hit myself in the head with a shovel every goddamn day. I'd like to die. God, I'd love to die. One time I put a shotgun in my mouth and blew the whole goddamn back of my head off there. Just a slight ringing in the ears. I can't die. I think my girlfriend wants to get married or something, you know? She's dropping hints now all the time, you know? I think she wants to get... Last week, she got a 1-year subscription to Bride magazine. I renewed it for another 5 years. Man, them engagement rings, boy, they cost a lot, boy. I was looking at them. Cost like $1,000, $2,000, you know, $3,000, something like that. $4,000. Big number divisible by 1,000, anyways. And you can get cheap ones too. I saw one ring, $20 there, engagement ring, you know. But what the hell are you going to do with that, huh? You know? Go, here you go, honey. I love you a little bit. I get down on my knees, but it seems kind of stupid for 20 bucks. But I don't know. I don't mind spending a lot of money, but a ring, hey, that's a kind of a pointless thing there, you know? I don't know. I think I'm going to get my girlfriend a nice engagement stereo. You know, that's... Right. Say, with this wall unit I thee wed. Here you go. There you hold on to that. So, who knows, though, huh? Everything's expensive. Everything costs money there, you know? I went to buy a dog. I couldn't believe how much these dogs cost. Salesman in a store trying to sell me the most expensive dog in the store, you know? Big $600 dog. It's big pit bull, 600 bucks, you know? And I was looking to pay, you know, maybe a buck, something like that, you know, maybe $2, something like that, you know? But I was going, hey, don't you got a bargain dog around the joint here? Any kind of a dog of the week going on this week? A big bin of dogs, maybe, that I could pull something out of there? But this guy goes, no, he says, why don't you buy this pit bull? He says, this kind of expensive dog, but he goes, this will protect your valuables, this dog. You know? And, you know, I don't have anything very valuable, you know, I don't own a lot of stuff there, you know. I buy the pit bull, that would be the most valuable thing I own, right? I'd have to buy something to protect it then, you know. I'd be out shopping for Wolverines the next day there. Show me something in a timber wolf, my good man. I'd be saying to some good man there. No, you don't want a dog like that, man. I want a dog do things for me, you know. Fetch my slippers. That's the joy of having a dog, you know. Pitbull won't do that stuff. Go, hey, Pitbull, fetch my slippers. Pitbull go, hey, I could kill you, pal. I'm a Pitbull. Don't you read the papers or anything? I kill. That's how I don't fetch. I fetch people. That's all I fetch. I can fetch you a guy. That's the best I could do there. And maybe you're wearing some slippers. How'd that be? When I was young, no such thing as a pit bull. When I was a kid, it was the meanest dog around, the Doberman dog, you know? And they'd kill you, too. They'd rip your throat out just the same, you know? But not fast like a pit bull, eh? A Doberman always give you a little head start there, you know? They were a sporting dog, them Doberman. They'd see you in the street, they'd go, hey, that your house over there? Yeah, go ahead. Then they soar through the air and rip your throat out. And do a flip, you know, and you'd be impressed, even though you're dead, you know. Man, look at that flip then. But I don't want it. You don't see Dobermans around anymore. You ever notice that? Pit bulls now, they got all the work and everything. All the domestic security jobs go to the pit bulls. And man, a Doberman's like the forgotten dog now, you know. Once in a while you see him on a park bench with a Frisbee there, you know. I used to be somebody. I'm a Doberman. Got a buck? Buck for the Doberman? So I don't get any of those killer dogs, you know. I always buy a dog. When I'm buying a dog, I think to myself, I go, hey, if this dog goes berserk, could I take him? I got a nice wiener dog. I got one of them wiener dogs. Wiener dog can't rip your throat out or anything like that, you know. Unless you're lying down, you know. You have to be lying down sleeping there, you know. And a wiener dog sneak up late at night, start nibbling at your throat there. Maybe by daybreak he's got a hold of a vein there. He's pulling out a vein there. You know, you wake up, oh, get away from me, you wiener dog. The hell you think you are, a pit bull or something there? Look at my vein back there. Where does he get out of a wiener dog? There's a hickey, a little hickey there. That's about all. And that's embarrassing too. Hey, you ever have a hickey, man? You be walking down the street, people see you. Hey, you got a wiener dog over there, huh? So I do, now that you mention it. So you never know, though, huh? But the hell with dogs. I'm going to get to be a big guy, just defend myself. You know, I'm going to work out. That's what I'm going to start doing. You know, I haven't worked out forever. I never worked out. Good God, has it been that long ever? But I got to start, you know, because man, I think. I used to be in good shape. When I was younger, that's when I was in good shape, you know? Back when I was in my peak physical condition when I was about, like, 1. Man, you should have seen me back then. When I was 1. Oh, God, I look good. Young and fresh. You wouldn't know me now if you see me when I was 1, you know? I even look good for my age. People would come up to me and go, what are you, 0? And I go, no, I'm 1 over here. They go, man, you don't look a day past 0. I'm not bullshitting you there. Look good. And I go, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I'm 1. So you gotta stay in shape. And I watch the TV. Watch a lot of sports on the TV. Everything on it, any sport at all. You know, I don't care, you know. And some of those sports are not even sports, you know. You ever see those sports on the TV where they just try to take 2 different sports and combine them together and make up a new sport? You know, they don't even work together, you know, like guy will run a 100-yard dash and then fish. But I don't know. So there's one cliff diving. There's a weird sport. Hey, a guy diving off a cliff there, and they're trying to pass it off as a sport. You know, it's like attempted suicide pretty well, eh? Next week, I saw on a TV guy that got washing down Quaaludes with wood alcohol. Can you believe that? How about that for a sport, eh? But it's tough to know who's better in cliff diving either. Like you see a guy diving off a cliff, they go, oh man, a guy diving off a cliff. And then another guy dives, whoa, there's another guy diving off a cliff there. But you can't tell who's better, you know? Like, if you survive at all, hey, you're a great cliff diver there. There's only 2 classifications in cliff diving there. There's a grand champion and then stuff on a rock. Very hard to make a comeback in that sport, I'll tell you that. It's a lot of dedication there. Oh, man. But I don't know, though, you know. I love the TV, though. Anything on the TV at all. Watch game shows. You ever watch them? You ever see that game show, The Dating Game? That's the oddest game show I ever saw, that show, you know. They got no prize in the show. They just give you, like, another contestant. That's your prize. Just pair you off. No budget at all on the show, you know. And they always do the same thing on the show. They get a beautiful girl, match her up with 3 giant geeks there, you know. Last week they had a guy on, was like a crazy guy, loony bin, kind of a psycho wingnut, you know? You can tell by how they introduce him. Bachelor number 2 is a shadowy lurking character. From no fixed address, please welcome. He's just a guy. Menacing figure shambles into the studio there, you know? And then they make the girls, you know, ask those questions. They always be about sex, you know? Always thinly disguised sex, you know? Never direct, you know, insertion or anything, but it's always something about, you know, like the girl go, Bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle, what would you do to me? What would you do to me if I were a popsicle? That's what it says in the card here. So guys, well, if you're a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. And then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. And then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. Put half you in the freezer till later. You know what I mean there? You understand what I'm getting at? Guy was nuts. Crazy as a hoot owl, this guy. Oh, well, it's good to be here, man. I came down here. I got a lift down here. We drove down, me and my 2 buddies there, and 4 hours it took us to drive down here. And I was in the back seat all the way. You ever been in the back seat for a long trip? Oh, man, is that stink or what? Man, what a rough place that is. And when there's only 3 in the car, you know, and you're in the back seat, you know you're not the most popular guy in the car. Got no dignity back there at all, you know? Didn't even have a door for me, just one of those 2-door cars. Only had doors for the front seat, guys. I didn't even have a door at all. I had to bum a door off one of the guys to get out of the car. Man, lonely back there. You want to be in the front seat, that's where you want to be, huh? Right beside a driver, that's the place. Second in command there. You get to look at a map and everything, and check out the tapes out of the box and all that stuff. You go, hey, man, the driver dies, I'll be the driver. Got responsibility there, you know? Backseat, man, you're just cargo back there, you know? Just nothing back there. You can't talk to them, you know? You got that class barrier, front seat, back seat thing there. You can't smash through that, you know? You ever try? You just stick your head into the front seat? You go, hi! What are you guys talking about? It's me from the back seat. Okay, I'll go back there. But after a couple, 3 hours on the highway, you get so lonely in the back seat, you know? After a while, you start trying to make contact with other people in other back seats along the way. Ever do that? Look out your little excuse for a window there. I'm backseat people too over here. We must band together. I have some literature for you to look at there if you want. Could be a cow in the back of a flatbed truck there. Hello there. It's livestock, but it noticed me there. You really tell how to care about you in the backseat by that fucking seatbelt they give you, huh? Just right here, no shoulder strap or nothing, just same seatbelts they banned from the front seat back in the 50s. I said, man, we can't have these in the front seat. We throw them in the back seat. We'll give you shoulder straps up here and airbags, and on impact, a medic will jump out of your glove compartment there. You're good up here. Even got a headrest for it, you know? So your head doesn't hurt or anything. You know? Man, you be in the back seat, that headrest just be like a face smasher to you, you know? Just grimly mocking you for the whole trip there. Headed going to that like an overripe cantaloupe there, you know? Just splash. The only way you can escape is to sleep, you know? That's the only thing you can do in the back seat. Sleep and perchance to dream. I love sleeping. I know you like to sleep? Oh, it's the best, man. You ever be having a really good dream, and then right in the middle of the dream, you wake up, right in the best part of the dream, and there you are, back in your stinking life again? Man, that's rough, huh? So then you fall asleep, try to re-dream it. Man, that never works out there. Always end up with some weird mutation of your original dream there, you know? Well, the other night I was dreaming, you know, I was in a pool with Christy Brinkley, and we were approaching each other, me and Christy Brinkley in a pool, and we were just about to touch, and I woke up. So then I fell asleep, tried to re-dream it there, ended up shooting pool with David Brinkley. That wasn't very much fun there, I'll tell you that, man. Well, I'm looking for gifts. You ever get a bad gift, you know? Last Christmas, man, I got the worst gift a guy ever gave me. He gave me a lottery ticket. You ever get that for a gift? Man, what a stinking gift that is. You know, what's a guy even thinking there? I go, here you go. Nothing. Merry Christmas. It's nothing. From me to you, not anything. You know, unless it wins, then it's something, man. But let's face it, you give a guy a lottery ticket, you know, you don't want it to win. What kind of fucking nightmare would that be, you know? Man. Imagine that, you get a call a week after Christmas there, go, hey, Fred, what's happening there? Yeah, I remember that ticket I gave you. 14 million bucks, huh? Good for you, Fred, yeah. No, I'm happy over here. No. Listen, what'd you get me again there, Fred? I can't remember what you got me. I know I got you to 14 million, but I can't remember for the life. Oh, yeah, the cup. Yeah, I remember now. Yes, thanks for asking. I'm enjoying the cup there. I had some tea out of it the other day there, and some coffee. I'm hoping to have some soup there, and guess no chance that cup's skyrocketing in value at all, huh? I guess that's a sensible view. Well, I gotta go now, Fred. I gotta go apply a shard of glass to my throat. Okay, goodbye. Oh, you never know. But you always gotta buy. I gotta buy for my dog now. I gotta buy gifts for him, you know. And, man, he has a birthday like 7 times a fucking year, too, you know. So always out shopping for him there. And, Man, you don't know what to get a dog. Eh? Very hard to buy for a dog. You know, what the hell are you going to get him, you know? You want to get him something he wouldn't ordinarily get for himself, you know, but that's just strewn garbage. That's all he ever gets for himself. I got him a rubber bone. I thought he'd like that, you know? Dog gets it, goes, oh, great, a bone. Oh, yeah, it's not a bone. Million laughs, pal. What's next, an electric fire hydrant over here? What the hell are you doing to me? I'm a dog over here. My grandmother, she got my dog a sweater. She knitted him a sweater. What a useless gift that is, huh? Big green sweater, you know? I don't want to make the dog wear it, you know? It just humiliates the dog there. And what happens if the dog gets lost, you know? He's wearing a sweater. Huh? How long is he going to survive in the alleyways with that on his back? Yeah, them's mean streets if you're a wiener dog in a cardigan, I'll tell you that. You don't last too long there. They off you like a... whatever they off you like. So who knows, though. My dog doesn't really talk, by the way. I know my dog talks in a lot of my little jokes there, but I'm just lying there. He's a regular dog, you know. I lie like that sometimes. You ever lie? Who the hell doesn't lie? Hey, you gotta lie, but you ever lie for no reason? That's the worst kind of lie, huh? You know, because usually there's a reason you lie. Like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, fuck over your buddy or something like that, you know? But you ever just a big lie spills out of your evil head all of a sudden, you don't even know? You know, like a guy will come up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and the horse? And then you go, yes. And in the back of your head, you go, what the fuck am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? So, I don't know. You try to be a good person, though, eh? That's the best thing. A lot of bad people, man. A lot of bad guys. I was reading this one guy in the paper, you know? Baddest guy I ever read about. This guy killed his family, if you can believe this, folks. Killed his family because the devil told him to. Can you believe that? Man, what a dork, huh? That was the headline, actually. What a dork! The guy kills his family because the devil told him to. But can you imagine that? And then afterwards, you go back to the devil, you know, you go, yes, devil, I did as you instructed. I slaughtered my family as they lay sleeping, and then I chopped them up and put them in a duffel bag. Here they are. I got them here in a duffel bag. I'll be burying them tonight at the shallow grave by the side of the railroad track, as you have commanded, O Lord host of the hoary netherworld. And then the devil pulls off a mask. It's me, Bob! Then you go, oh, Bob! Jeez, you got me there, Bob. You got me. Is my face red or what over here? I got my family in a duffel bag. That's one for you there, Bobby boy. Okay, listen, folks, you've been great. Thanks a lot, huh? Enjoy.
That was great, kid. You killed him.
You're a good boy.
You sure are. My God, I didn't know you could do it. I didn't know.
Wait, my husband is choking. I need a doctor.
I am a funny man.
McDonald.
Well, we're here to look back on the year that was and all the different crazy things that happened during the year. And I didn't catch a lot of it. So, of course, we all know that there's an election. You know? Big election. And it was a very important election. It was probably our most important election. And people had very strong opinions on the election. You know, some people had very strong opinions one way, and other people had strong opinions the other way. And I didn't have any opinions at all. I don't have really any opinions on anything. Like, you ever watch the CNN, and they'll have the polls, you know, and it'll be like, what do you think about embryonic stem cell research? And then it'll be like, see, there you go. It'll be like 52% yes, 46% no, 6% I don't know. See? And that's me. I don't know. So I phone up the CNN, you know, and I go, hey, listen, is this the TV? Yeah, that question you asked about the embryonic stem cell research? I don't know. But no, you know, I admire people who have strong opinions, you know, like Linda Ronstadt, she did that thing, you know, where she got up and sang and everything, and then she started talking. And then people were going, God damn, I thought she was supposed to sing. And she just kept talking, and finally they were like, come on, man, sing those only 2 songs we ever heard you sing. We're trying to... $45 ticket I'm holding here. And, you know, celebrities have, they can speak up, you know, they're smart, you know, some of them. Most of them are dumb, but some of them... Because I meet celebrities. I'm a celebrity, and so I meet celebrities, and I know as soon as I shake their hand, I know, hey, there's a dumb guy. You know, because I'm a dumb guy myself, and I got that. You know how gay guys have the gaydar? I'm like that with dumb people. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I could have a conversation with you, man. So at the end of the election, you know, it was trouble for both candidates because they had the undecideds like me, didn't know. And so they were trying their hardest to get us to know, but, you know, we were all dumb. We didn't know. And then they decided to go with commercials where they just have some animals in them, you know? Like I remember one, it was a bunch of wolves, you know, and then the narrator, he goes, hey, do you want a bunch of wolves to eat you? You're like, damn, no, that's the last thing I want. And then the other character, he came out with his own, because the wolf thing was working good, and so his was, he goes, would you rather be an ostrich or an eagle? And you're like, that's a tough one there. And the guy's like, you'd rather be an eagle, you retard? I would, yes, because then the wolf can't jump up as high enough to catch you. So you're like, all right. I'll tell you what I do like in the news, the big murder trials, you know, because I can follow that, you know. And now we have the greatest one that's coming up, you know, because it's the best when celebrities are up for murder, because then you know the guy, you know. And so, right? So they selected the jurors for the Robert Blake trial, so that will move on. And I'm happy about that because I love Robert Blake. Ever since I was a kid, watched him. Beretta, my favorite show. God damn, that was a good show. I will say one thing about Robert Blake. The guy appears to have not the greatest alibi I have ever heard. Seems to be a relatively weak alibi to me. You know, and I'm no jurisprudence, you know, I don't know. But this is his alibi as far as I can figure it out. He goes, it couldn't have been me who shot my wife in the secluded area over by the side of the ditch. On account I have an alibi. Oh, where were you? I had to go back to the restaurant. I forgot my gun. Then I got my gun. I went back to where my wife is, and goddamn, somebody shot her. Now, so I don't know what alibis he discarded before he decided to go with that one, but see, this is the thing with celebrity trials, you know, is that it really gets the country all worked up. Because the last celebrity murder, of course, we had was the O.J. Simpson murder. And what happened there is O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder, you know? And then all the black people thought that O.J. was innocent. And all the white people thought that O.J. was guilty. So what happened was it created a racial divide in the country. I read that in a magazine. It created a... But what that means is, of course, the races were divided, you know? And that's no good, you know? So I was figuring, maybe, what do you think of this? Maybe we let Robert Blake off and call it even. And then... All right, folks. Well, God bless you all, and God bless America.
Coming up on Last Laugh 04, Greg Giraldo. Plus, Andy Dick and D.L. Hughley. When Comedy Central's Last Laugh 04 returns.
Yeah, we can do jokes.
Did you do any research before you had me on?
About you?
Yeah.
My whole life has been researching you. No, don't you know everything about every comic?
Yeah.
Back. Jerry Seinfeld. Talking about Rodney Dangerfield. You were talking about Dangerfields in New York on the break, during the break. And
the whole show is the break, by the way.
You described it as a fly and a piece of amber. How about that, huh? No, I think that's beautiful.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
There was no mocking.
You know, you have an eternal look in your eyes.
Well, we're all eternal beings, aren't we?
I tell you, every time I buy a car, I get stuck. You know, the salesman always says she's a beauty, never says he's a beauty. I found out why, because a car and a girl are very much alike. I mean, with either one, a car or a girl, when you're going to use one, they always lie about the mileage. And with either one, a car or a girl, how many times in a cold morning when you really need it, it won't turn over. I tell you, my whole life, all I know was rejection. When I was a kid, my yo-yo, it never came back. When I was a kid, I was poor, too. When I was a kid, everybody was poor. No rich kids, only poor kids, that's all. But I was poor. I was so poor, my rich aunt died. In the will, I owed her $20. I was poor. Oh, once on my birthday, my old man, he showed me a picture of a cake. I sat there all day trying to blow out the candles.
I took a homeless guy into a restaurant. I said, instead of giving him money, I'll take him into a restaurant. Boy, was that a thing. In 5 seconds, the entire restaurant smelled like excrement and urine. And everyone looking at
Excrement
me.
and urine.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, it was
that
me
is the
and-
worst
me and-
combination.
It was me and the homeless guy.
So you're the excrement and he was the urine. That's
was
a great
bad,
story.
Bad vaudeville act.
By the way, stick around for the fight. We're not going to pay the band, you know. But you're a nice crowd, all right. You're a classy crowd, I know that. There's 2 tractors parked outside. Well, I was out with a classy girl a few weeks ago. Yeah, she puts her hand over her mouth when she farts. You know what class is? You're alone in your fart. You say, excuse me.
And so the comics would come up, and then after the comics came up, he'd come up. And he'd be wearing his pajamas half the time.
yeah.
And so he'd take questions from the audience. It was funny because most of the questions were jokes, but then suddenly he'd be honest. So they'd go, how's your dog? Oh, you kidding, Vinny Moomba, last week he said he had 4 cases of VD. He's all right now, But it's like, how's your dating life going, Rodney? Are you kidding,
You look like I don't give a shit crowd, You don't give a shit about nothing, huh? Well, I don't give a shit either, all right? Well, let's have some action here. Everybody, take a leak in the guy in front of you. Go ahead, all right? What can I tell you, huh? You figure life out, will you? What do I do for a living? I get guys for your sister, okay? Don't be a wise guy. Just remember, never fuck around with a comic who can't get laid, okay? Because I don't need this, Chippendales wants me.
This is what I saw one time. It was the day he got married. He stopped at the Improv to do a set. His wife was in a wedding dress, and he introduced her.
Come on.
Yeah, he said, give her a hand. I just got married, all right, okay? And the woman stands up in a fucking wedding dress, and everyone claps, and then he goes, she's no prize. He goes, she says, we have so much in common. I said, I don't like to suck dick. And now she sits down. It's her wedding day.
You know how people say to me, hey, Rodney, you talk about girls, your wife, you're single, you're married, what's your story? I'm married. I got married about 1.5 years ago, that's the truth. And I found myself a good woman. I got a woman who loves me for my money and my fame and not for what I am. She's a lovely girl. Her name is Joan. She comes from Utah. She's a Mormon. That's right. Yes, a Mormon. And I'm very, very happy with her, very happy. In fact, next week I'm marrying her sister. And I got my eye on her brother, too. I was single for years. For years, as they say, I was playing the field. Or to be more accurate, I was playing with myself in the field. When I got married, one thing didn't make sense to me. The guy said to me, you may kiss the bride. After what I've already done to the bride, he tells me I can kiss her, Before I got married, there was plenty of girls I could have married. There was one girl wanted to marry me. I remember her. She said, we should get married. She said, we think alike. We like the same things. I told her, I don't like to suck dick. What the hell are you talking about, huh? Oh, another girl I knew, we used to have phone sex together. I didn't like it. She loved it. I'd take the phone, I'd stick it up her ass. She loved it, But I was married before. I got 2 children. I got a boy in college. I'm happy about that. Now I get decent drugs. Now, I'll tell you the truth, folks. I say no to drugs. When people ask me for some of my drugs, I say no. I got a boy in college. He's majoring in fucking up over there. That's what he's doing. My kid is dumb, too, I'll tell you that. He got his girlfriend pregnant. He's suing Saran Wrap. My kid's girlfriend, she's a beauty. She majors in business psychology. For $100, she'll blow your mind. Maybe I shouldn't talk this way, Most of you out there, I'm old enough to be your father. There's a few of you out there, I am your father.
But anyways, so I see Rodney, and he's taking questions from the audience. And so they ask him about his doctor. So he says, Vinny Moonbaz is doing all right. Asked about his kids. Nothing, no respect at all. He says, one guy says, when are you going to do your next movie? You tell me, you cocksucker, motherfuckers. Everyone's like, what? Motherfucker won't give me a movie after fucking Harry Basil. Are you kidding me?
Like her. Another terrific impression. Fantastic. I love it.
I never got girls, and I was a kid in showbiz either. One girl told me, come on over, there's nobody home. I went over, there was nobody home. And this girl was no bargain either. She was fat. She got in the scale, a card came out, said one at a time. Fat, you kidding? She used a shower cap for a diaphragm. Well, she tried computer dating. The machine messed her up with Detroit. Fat, you kidding? She was on a Richard Simmons show, jumping up and down. My TV fell off the stand. I mean, I'm talking about a fat girl here, know what I mean? How fat? She was standing alone. A cop told her, break it up. Okay, fat, I'm telling you. I put my hand in her blouse. I felt the chin. Fat, you kidding? Have sex with her, you gotta slap her thigh and ride the wave in. I mean fat, know what I mean? This girl was fat and ugly. Ooh, she ugly. She was known as a two-bagger. That girl who's so ugly, go out with her, you put a bag over your head in case the bag over her head breaks. She was ugly. Ugly chick. I took her to the beach. They asked me what I used for bait. Kidding, I gave her a hickey. I got fur in my mouth. I took her to a dog show. She won. I mean, ugly. With two guys broke in her apartment, she yelled rape. They yelled, no! And that's how ugly she was. That's okay. Who came in? What happened here? Although I tell you, I really shouldn't tell jokes about my wife. She's attached to a machine that keeps her alive. The refrigerator. I tell you, get married, look for a good cook, okay? The sex will wear off, but you'll always be hungry. My wife can't cook either. My house, we pray after we eat. She gave my kid alphabet soup. We spelled out help. I bought a pressure cooker. Now we eat off the ceiling. Last night she made chocolate mousse and antler got stuck in my throat. What a lousy cook. How can toast have bones? And I don't think meatloaf should glow in the dark. Why, my kitchen, the roaches are anorexic. Last week, the garbage disposal threw up. She can't cook at all. My backyard, the flies chipped in to fix the screen door. I know a lot of fucking jokes. All right, hey. What a crowd, huh? Yeah, a lot of people are lonely. It's tough to stay married. A lot of people are lonely but afraid of falling in love and getting hurt. Who wants to get hurt and love? They'd rather stay lonely. I'm lonely too. I was in my apartment, I sit in my apartment lonely. I noticed a fly in the room. I became friends with the fly, you know? I was kidding around with the fly, having a good time. It was beautiful. And I opened the window, and the fly left me for some horse shit. I'm getting very confused. Hey, you want to confuse a guy? Join him while he's taking a leak in the street. We were poor. In our Christmas tree, we had no tinsel. We used to wait for Grandpa to sneeze. You know? What's wrong with that? It's a funny line. Don't give me that bullshit, all right? Now, what do you want? Your money back? Fungu, you got screwed. That's it, okay? I've been through enough in my life. I met Santa Claus. That was a beauty, too. I sat in his lap. His fly was open. What a present he gave me. As a kid, I had plenty of pimples, too. I fell asleep in the library. I woke up, a blind man was reading my face. Well, to me, a blowjob is when the soup is too hot. You get older, they call them the golden years, the golden years. That means you go to the bathroom 5 times a night. That's the golden years. When your toes outnumber your teeth, that's the golden years. When a daily double is prune juice and an enema, that's the golden years. You get older, they say the first thing that goes is the mind. I say they miss by 3 feet, you know? Golden years. When you're pissing your pants, you think you're coming. That's the golden years, too, all right? Golden years. You kidding? In this world, anything could happen. I'm not a kid anymore. I could go tomorrow. And I hope I go tomorrow. I haven't gone today yet. Oh, I wish I was home in slippers, relaxing, creating hatred in the family. You know when you're really old? When your family talks about you in front of you. Ever see those families? The guy's sitting right there. What do you want to do with Pop? Pop can't stay here. And Pop just sits there dribbling. Now, Harry, put Pop in the garage. We have company coming, okay? That's when you're old. Suddenly, I'm depressed. Full of hate. And I get my hate out the way a lot of people do. I watch television. When I'm watching television and I got that remote in my hand, that's when I get my hate out. What kind of shit is this, huh? Get a fucking job. He sucks. Take the weather and shove it up your ass, all right? Fuck you, I say yes to drugs, all right? Can I tell you, folks, I'm very ill. You know the trouble with me? I appeal to everyone who can do me absolutely no good. That's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all. Are you kidding? Nothing. No respect at all. Well, last week my house was on fire. My wife told the kids, be quiet. You wake up Daddy. No respect at all. Well, Siskel and Ebert caught my act. They gave me one finger up. I don't get no respect from anyone. I tried to join Masturbators Anonymous. They told me to jerk off. And I tell you, I can't take it no more. I was in a Chinese restaurant. They named the dish after me. One dumb fuck. I hope you had a few laughs.
Well, thank you. So how you guys doing, all right? Oh, you look good. And you ever have a dream? I had a dream the other day there. And you ever have one of them dreams, and then you wake up right in the good part? Right in the best part, you wake up, you know, and then you're back in your stinking life again. And so then you try to fall asleep, re-dream it. Man, that never works, huh? Always end up with some weird mutation of your original dream there, you know? Like the other day there, I was having a dream of, I was in a pool with Christy Brinkley. You know, we were approaching each other there, and and then I woke up. And I tried to fall asleep there. I ended up shooting pool with David Brinkley. So that wasn't that. Everybody lies, right? You gotta lie there, but you ever lie for no reason? That's a bad lie there. You know, usually there's a reason, like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, screw over your buddy or something like that, but you ever lie for no reason at all? Just all of a sudden a big lie spills out of your evil head there, you know? And you don't even know, like a guy comes up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and a horse? And you go, yes. And in the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? I don't know, man. I gotta get in shape. That's what I gotta do. Work out. Be a big... I haven't worked out for ever. I never worked out. I was gonna lie there again. God, has it been that long, ever? But I gotta start, you know. I used to be in good shape when I was younger. Oh, man, I looked good back then. Should have seen me back when I was like 1. That's when I looked good, 1. Oh, man, I was young and fresh. Oh, God. I could show you pictures of me when I was 1. You wouldn't know me now, you know? I was gone to hell. Hell in a handbasket, as my great uncle used to say. Oh, you got it. And I look even good for my age back then. People come up to me and go, what are you, 0? Look at that. And I go, no, I'm 1 over here. They go, man, don't look a day past 0 there. I'm not voting. Look, 0. I go, well, thank you, but I must insist I'm 1. I like watching sports. Yeah, I love that. I watch sports on the TV all the time. Man, they're good. Except those sports. You ever see those sports where they just try to combine 2 sports and make up a new sport? Man, that stinks, huh? You know, and they don't even go together. It'd be like a guy run a 100-yard dash and then fish. Besides cliff diving, you ever see that guy hopping off a cliff, trying to pass that off as a sport, you know? Man, look at kind of like attempted suicide as a sport there. Next week they got washing down Quaaludes with wood alcohol. That's next week. Can you believe that? No, I'm just making that part up. But cliff diving, what a crazy... And you can't tell who's better either. You see a guy hopping off a cliff and you go, man, look at that. And then the next guy hops off a cliff and you go, oh, look at that again there. Another guy hopping off a cliff. But you can't tell who's better, you know. If you survive it all, you're a great there's only a couple of different levels of cliff diving. It's grand champion and then stuff on a rock over there. One of the two. It's a kind of a thing. Ah, but who knows, though. I love the TV. Anything at all on the TV. That's my life, man, the TV. Game shows. I love game shows. That was one game show, The Dating Game. You ever see that show? That's an odd show there, huh? No prize in the show. They give you, like, another contestant. That's your prize. And no budget at all on the show. And they always do the same thing. Get a beautiful girl on the show, a beautiful, gorgeous girl. Then they match her up with 3 giant gorks there, you know. 3 of the biggest gorks you've ever seen. Last week they had a guy on. It was like a crazy guy. Some kind of a loony bin, psycho, wingnut kind of a guy, you know. You can tell by the way they introduce him. Bachelor number 2 is a shadowy, lurking character. Please welcome, from no fixed address, he's just a guy there. And then this menacing figure shambles into the studio there with a well-thumbed copy of Catcher in the Rye sticking out of his back pocket. And then they make the girls ask those questions. Always be laced with sex, these questions. You know, girl go, Bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle, what would you do to me? What would you do to me if I were a popsicle? That's what says in the card here. And the guy goes, well, if you're a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. And then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. And then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. And then Hey, you guys have been great. Thanks very much. And I love you. I love you very much.